everybody, it's John, otherwise known as 54 New Star, and here we're finally finishing up Hearthstone. So in this episode, what we're basically going to be doing is setting up the packs. I've kind of rearranged some stuff. So we have changed the Hearthstone game a bit, so we don't have a direct, copy. I didn't exactly want that. So we have, and this setup, we're still basically doing what we did before, just a little bit different. Is we still have our random generator. We're still battling cards against each other. But we're doing it in like sets of decks. So you have a 10-card deck. No, they're not going to be all wizards. They're going to be changed up, and they're going to have different health and battle. If your card has, higher points, bigger numbers, then you win, and the enemy card loses. And by counting down the numbers of cards that we have, so we start with 10, end up with 0, then that's the end of that basically game. And you've got so much, you've won so much, points or something like that. You can use to buy cards, or just a random set deck, or an actual specific, master deck, moderate deck, stuff like that. So we won't be needing like this health bar or anything like that. It's basically just writing down the amount of cards that you have, and then saying, oh, okay, I've won this much, or I've lost that much, or whatever. Okay, so what I have is a global number, enemy card equals 0, a function, so on ran, set number return. So it's basically choose 0 to 10, and then I have on touch of a button call ran, so it's going to set, hey, 0 to 10, set the enemy card function to return value, so this is the enemy card, and set text to enemy card. So this basically says, okay, we are turning this from a random variable into an actual function that we can use to then choose a card. So for example, if enemy card variable is equal to, say, 0, we are going to send cancel. We're going to, those are 23 and 22. Okay, so we won't be using those. Card. Now remember, I also have folders here, so you want to actually move your cards into the folders here. But we're going to choose card 1. Actually back. If enemy card blah blah blah, and we want to send this to set position. Set position. And we want to set the position to go to cards. I think it's Sprite 22 X. And Sprite 22 Y. Okay, let's see if that's correct. Where's Sprite 22? Okay, so it's over there. Okay, we'll just say it's a player card. And we actually want to set it to, actually, yeah, let's just redo that real quick, to the Sprite 15, so the green button, game items. So we want to set it to that. Okay, there we go. When we go to game, we run this. On touch. Oh yeah, if it was mobile. Go back. How about we say on tap? Double tap, on hold, on tap object. Done. So we actually have to click it. On tap gesture sprite. Oh, because it's already set to 0. Okay, we want it. Okay, set 1. So we have to wait till it hits 1. 10, 9, 2, 5, 8, 0, 9, 8. Okay, at this point, because it's rolling around 8 and 9, I'm going to say 9. There we go. And now we got it here. So now your enemy card is set to 9. Or actually, well, not at 9. And if it were to equal 9 at this point, what we're going to do is if enemy card is equal to 9, here's okay. Well, here's something. We will. These are the enemy cards, and we want to compare them to your own player cards. So at this point, I just have 1. So it's going to be. Let's see, on touch or on tap. Was it 23? 23 done. Let's make sure that was right. Yeah, no, it's 22. Yay. Okay. So enemy card 9 on tap ditch. We're doing these sets to 22. Let's see. We need another global variable because at this point we're gonna have 2 random generators going on, one for yours, one for the enemies. So it's well, no, you're choosing your cards. Yeah. So you tap on that. So we're gonna have the player number, player card number, and this card was gonna be worth, I don't know, 5. 5 attack, 10 health. Okay, so at this point the card's going to be worth 5. So what we're going to do is we're going to set player card number to 5. So at the beginning it's actually 0. So we're going to set value to player card number 5. Set this actually to 0 because we're going to set it to 5. Okay, and then we have an enemy card. So our actual enemy card is this dude. And he's got, he's at this point he would be like level 2 or 3. Okay, so we're gonna just play around with him right now. Enemy card 9, set position there, and then set okay, so this is gonna be the enemy card chooser. But we actually want I need to call him that. Enemy card number. Enemy card number. This will basically say, okay, if you choose this card, it's rated at this number. So we're basically attacking, numbers against numbers. Now this is the basic dungeon cards. We're going to be doing a more advanced version that is going to be like an army, like a huge army of coding lines. It's going to calculate health versus, if I have 25 health and I get attacked by, an attack that only does 1 damage, I suddenly have 24 health. We're going to do a huge calculation thing. I just want us to work on this basic setup one. It's going to be kind of complicated too, guys, We're just going to do the basics here, okay? So we can warm up. Okay, so I know it's not going to be like, oh, you're just numbers versus numbers. Basically, that's what the more advanced ones do, but let's start off with the basic. Do the buying, see, because you're still going to calculate how much basically in-game whatever currency that you're going to get, and then go into a little, card store, buy the cards, and keep until you became card master or whatever. And then we're going to be working on some other tutorials, such as a RPG, which is going to be rolling the same basically random number generator. So okay, back on this, on RAN we are going to choose a number, so we're not going to do 0 anymore because 0 is default. We can't have that. So choose 1 to 0 or 1 to 10 because we only have 10 cards in a deck at a time. On RAN, so on Call of RAN we're going to choose this, but when we tap the button we are now calling RAN, which is referencing 1 to 10. We're going to set the enemy card function to return the value. Set enemy card to return value, which means it's going to be referencing it, and then set text to enemy card, which is basically it's just moving it from a in-game code into an actual on-screen reference number. So this return value function is basically this. It's referencing this code line here. And then this is saying, oh, set enemy card, we're referencing it here. But we're also, okay, so these numbers are being put into that global number. That global number is becoming something visible. So we're getting from the back of the room where all the stuff is being made to the actual final product. It's kind of complicated. This enemy card gets moved to a new area. And then, because it equals 9, or is the 9th card, that card is equal to whatever number. I'm going to put it rather high because this is a level 3 card. So we're going to set the value. That's 5, so I'm going to say 15. Done. On tap gesture, blah blah blah. That you're in. Okay, so I may choose this to be the battle button. I'm going to delete that. And that, because we don't need it at this point. We're going to set that there. Alright, so we're going to set 2 of these texts. 1 to reference the number that the enemy's getting, and 1 to reference what you are getting. Okay, so run this. Nine. So okay, so we got 9, and 9's going to okay, on RAN, blah 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 blah. 9. Set enemy card to 15. And then on tap gesture, set player card to 5. We also want to move it there. So what we're going to do is take 22 and move it to the other square. So we're going to set position to the game item. Just make sure we're sending it to the right spot. So it's going to be a red square. Set position to the red square. Make sure it's following the X and Y coordinates. And exit, exit, done. Okay. Hmm. I'm actually going to change this to the green because I actually want the red button on touch on tap object, the red button. I want that to be the initiator. So the enemy card, you select the button, you hit a tab or whatever, and it selects the enemy card, and then you select your own card, and then you then press the big red button to battles between them. Okay, so let's see if the basic principle works. So the rat is chosen. I am clicking away on the green square till we get to 9. I don't like tap because it's way too slow. I prefer a mouse click because you're not like going forever. Now remember, when you're playing the game, it's not going to be just selecting, oh yay, we're like all over the place. It's going to be like selecting cards. 10. Is it not selecting 9 at all? Or did I actually mess something up in the code? No, it should all be the same. There we go. So at this point we have 15 and 5. And then we're going to compare on top blah blah blah. We're going to compare variables. Alright, so on this time, we have a system built. So if the enemy card is greater than player card number, we're gonna have something done. Basically, they win. Let's see, what can they win? I'd say 5 points per round. And then what we could also do is set a random, basically, money giver system. So we can say anything between, say, 100 to 1,000 gold, you have a chance of winning. At this point, we're going to just set it to default 5. If it's bigger than the player card number, then add 5. So at this point, you would only care if you got it. Is greater, player and a card number is greater than the enemy card number. Done. Add 2. This time we would actually need to create another variable, something along the lines of player cash. I'm gonna say 5. So let's add another variable called player cash. Another variable, add another condition. We must tap on tap object, game item, red button. So we have to tap the red button, and the player card number has to be bigger than the enemy card number. At that point, we add 5 to player cash. But if it isn't, then our card actually gets deleted. We're going to clone that. On tap gesture, if the player card number is less than the enemy card number, our card gets deleted. Like, as in, like, no longer use. Or we lose cash. Because you have to start at a default amount. Subtract from player money, 5. Done. Player cash. Yeah, we'll just subtract from that from now. Done. And then we'll set up, actually we'll set up some text. So we're not gonna need that anymore. We can actually set up a text box, insert a text right there. Okay, so that's gonna be money. Alright, so we can set up a add 5. Let's see, set text. So we'll just copy that one. Enemy card. Player cash. We're gonna go back and choose money. Next. Done. Okay. And then we also need to set it to this one. So this part should work. I'm gonna set up some more text boxes in a little bit. So we're gonna choose the rat. And that's if we choose the button. Okay, on tap. It's adding 5, yes. Just make sure your code is correct, because I had enemy card instead of enemy card number set to 15. So we need to blah blah blah. Oh, the run layout, because they're both set to 0. It's gonna add nothing. That's the new button. There we go. That's that. Boom. There we go. -5. That part works. All we need to do is set our number generator. So when we choose our number, that's going to be insert the following. That text. This is going to be player number. So when we choose our card, so this is on tap gesture sprite 22, player number, set text to player card number. I think it's that. Now we can also So we're selecting the card on top gesture, set text to player card number, add 5 number. So if we click that, and now our number is 5. Okay, so what we need to do is replace this text number with what this card is worth. Just so we know the variable. Actually, we can just, because that's the random generation number, we need to insert another text instead of just replacing it. So we'll just put that over there and set this to be enemy card value, so it represents basically what its power's worth. So on set text enemy card oh, that was a value. Okay, set hold on one sec. Next. Oh, okay. Set text to system enemy card number. Done. So we're waiting for it to hit 9, which will hopefully happen soon. We just select our card. There we go, 9. So we have 15 and 5. We automatically know that this is card 9 of the enemy's deck, and this is what it's worth. So it's more powerful than ours, and ours is worth 5. At this point, just for something in the future, we would have I'm gonna have these up, but it's gonna be okay, 15 or in this case I'm just saying it's gonna be worth 15 points, whatever, but it would be like 25, and the enemy's our card is worth 5 on attack but 10 on health, so he would totally wipe us out in one strike. But in the case that we had, say, 50 health but our attack was 5, it'd be, subtract it, we're still alive by this amount. And that's why I'm going to say the advanced, or the moderate dungeon card game that's going to happen after this, where we take this to the next level. This is just like an easy swipe card game, an easy one. It's got a little fist right there, that's kind of cool. And then we select that. We would lose that, and then these cards would be swiped away, and then we would play again. So we would constantly pull cards until we got to like 0. So that's actually what's going to happen, is that we're basically just running off of a card timer. For every time I press this button, we're gonna have a global variable called card deck initial value 10. Click OK. Every time I click or I tap game on game item, so I touch on tap object. We're gonna tap sprite 18, done, it's going to subtract from card deck 1. So when we reach 0, that's the end of the level. It's going to compare. If our number is bigger than the enemy's number, we win. If their number is bigger, then they win. Okay, that's going to be the end of this episode. The next episode should pretty much be the final one, where we just like finish up. Well, I'm gonna say 2 more episodes where we actually just finish up the individual cards. You're going to see our player deck, and then you're going to see basically the full comparison of what would happen if we had different cards on their side, different cards on our side, the 2 cards being compared, the referencing of those cards, the card's power, and then a quick little basically store where we can buy those said cards. So we can buy individual cards to intermix with our deck, or just buy this random deck. So I may include that. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I know it was kind of mixed up. It's kind of late, and I just wanted to get this out there pretty quickly. I'm gonna go over things in the next episode, and it's gonna kind of like go over what we did here. I'm also going to take an image of these, of all the code, so you guys can read through it. I'll see if I can pretty quickly remove all of the content here. Well, not the content, but like the image, the actual artwork with other artwork, so I can link down the game stuff down below, so you guys can actually download this and actually rearrange it with your own stuff. Remember, like and subscribe, guys. You will be seeing this series in the next 2 to 3 videos, and then we're going to start in on a RPG setup. Hopefully, you'll enjoy that, and I'll see you guys in the next video.